Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. This is your fellow troll reporting for duty.
All trolls report in.
Now today's video is going to be a little bit different. If you follow me over on Instagram, you may have seen my stories about a Scentsy leader that clapped back, if you want to call it that, in her stories and in my comments. And I fully was expecting this to happen once my channel got more growth and things started moving. I fully expect people to see my content, and I know and understand that sometimes the people who are seeing my content are the people that I'm reacting to. And so I knew it was only a matter of time, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna sit back and not respond. So let's get the fuck into it.
Now you wanna stay the night. Pity how you work hard for me, but forgetting how to talk. Nah, I don't like no humble beats. Just go and suss it up.
All right, so as you saw, I just played that disclaimer, right? I play it in all my videos. I also tell you this. I do not blur out the faces or the names of any of the individuals in my videos, but this does not mean that I am encouraging anybody to go and seek these individuals out, send them mean comments or hate messages. That is not what my content is for. My content is for educational and, most importantly, entertainment purposes only. I just wanted to make that clear because, laws. And I will also add, before we get into it, that the Fair Use Act is there for YouTubers like me in the anti-MLM space or reaction space to support us and help us keep our content up because it is transformative and it is educational. So with that, here's what we're gonna do. This individual went on a 15+ minute rant on her Instagram stories combined yesterday morning, and I did see it.
She already stalks my whole life.
If anybody from her team or her Instagram is coming over here, because she does have a larger following than I do,
It's my turn to talk.
I want to clear some things up and make sure you know the truth and know that I will air my dirty laundry. I will apologize for things when I'm wrong. But you know what? I don't have to do that in this video because I didn't do anything wrong. So first thing we're going to do is respond to her stories that she made about me. And by the way, these were public, fair use. Also, I will say, I know I'm being petty, but I don't care, because don't come at me and tell me I don't know my facts when clearly I think it's the other way around. So to give you a little bit of a background, I reacted to this individual's Scentsy training about a week and a half ago at the time that I'm recording this, and she happened to see it yesterday at the time that I'm recording this. Apparently she wasn't happy, which is fine. I get it. But the reason I make my content is not to really criticize the individuals in the video. It's to criticize the behavior behind the video, behind the individual, and the behavior that comes out of multi-level marketing representatives and network marketing representatives, because it's all pretty much the same across the board. And I can't speak for anti-MLM creators, but I know as an anti-MLM and drama commentary creator that the reason that we use content to react to and to show people what's going on is just that, so people can see what's going on inside of the MLMs. This behavior is encouraged within MLMs, so it's nothing particularly against the people that I am reacting to. Sometimes I get a little sassy.
Okay.
I'm aware of that. Sometimes my mouth gets ahead of me, but that's just who I am as a person. And if I ever put out an ad hominem that really is hurtful or hurts somebody's feelings because of who they are or what they look like or anything like that, I have no problem apologizing for that. But if you are in an MLM and encouraging these behaviors and portraying these behaviors, then you bet your ass that I am going to utilize these trainings that are public on YouTube, by the way, to display what's actually going on in the MLMs, to give the people that are coming to my channel, whether it be for entertainment or to find out more about whatever MLM they're looking into, they can see both sides. It's not healthy to always have the positive side of things displayed. For example, like if you're going to a restaurant, are you going to read all of the 5-star comments on Yelp, or are you going to also look at the 1-star or 3-star and see what they had to say. You're likely going to read all of those different star ratings so that you can get a full perspective of what to expect if and when you're going to that restaurant, right? So look at this YouTube anti-MLM drama commentary creation. Not all of it. I mean, there are SS sniper wolves out there of the world. But in terms of my content and a lot of other people's content who are in this specific niche, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to provide people with a full scope look at what it's like within the MLMs and why people fall into them, and how a lot of times, myself included, people are blind to what they've really gotten themselves into until it's too late. If you would like to watch the original reaction video that I made reacting to this individual, which I rewatched last night to make sure I didn't say anything to purposely hurt her feelings. Yes, I am sassy. I say things how I see it, but I didn't say anything that was a personal dig at this individual. I made sure of it. If you want to go and watch it, I will make sure it's linked in the description, so you can go and do that after you watch this or before, and then come back, whatever you want to do, but it's there for you. Okay, with all of that being said,
has got me on one this morning. I actually really don't care that much, but I think I get more bothered, just like the other day with the other troll about my weight loss. I get more bothered when people don't have facts. Like, talk shit all you want. Don't like a network marketing all you want. Don't agree with what I do all you want. I don't care, because guess what? I'm paying for the lights in my house. Me and my husband. This job is paying for all these things, right? But I get annoyed when people don't have their facts right. That's what annoys me the most.
Ma'am, have several seats, please.
Sit down, watch and learn.
Because first of all, she went on this rant. Okay. And I'm sure one of them, or you know what? I know that the Scentsy leaders are watching my videos. I also know that somebody else that I recently reacted to saw my videos yesterday because of this. And she also made a post directed at me, but not actually reaching out to me. Nobody has reached out to me. My DMs are open. My emails are open. I have no shame saying exactly what I say on my videos to your face. I have no shame in it because I don't agree with what you're doing. I was there. I'm going to go on a lot of rants in this video, and I apologize, but also I don't apologize. Just wait. You'll see what she says about me. Now, with that said, I was in the MLM industry for 4+ years, my friend. I have been consuming anti-MLM content as well as researching MLMs, the tactics they use, and all types of like cult-like behavior and things like that for many years before I even started my channel. As soon as I got out of MLMs, that's when I started consuming this content and educating myself. And that was in 2018 because it was right after I had my youngest. So I am well-versed, well-educated. I mean, I don't know it all. Of course I don't, but I know quite a bit. And I also know a lot of the facts about Scentsy because I was in Scentsy for about 4 years. So I think you might not have your facts.
And she went on another video and was like, it's not a real job. It's not a small business. And I'm like, we have a 1099 and we pay taxes, and it is a real job for a lot of us.
I never said it wasn't a real job. Never, ever have I said that about MLMs.
She never said it.
And I know that for a fact because that wouldn't make sense. It is a job. What it's not is a business. Just because you pay taxes and get a 1099 doesn't mean you're a business. You're a business when you look up the CEO of a company and your name comes up. If you look up the CEO in Google, and I will display this on the screen for your viewing pleasure, also to educate you. If you look up the CEO of Scentsy, who will you see? Heidi and Orville Thompson, not this individual's name, because you're not a business owner. None of the consultants in Scentsy, when you search Scentsy CEO, will come up as the CEO, which means you are a contractor with this business. And yes, you have to pay taxes because you live in America. Welcome. People who go to work anywhere have to pay taxes. People who are contractors have to pay taxes, and business owners have to pay taxes. So just the fact that you get a 1099 and pay taxes doesn't mean you're a business owner, but I thoroughly enjoy the fact that you just said it is a job, because it is a job. It's not your business. And that's what I say in my TikToks, which is what she's referring to in my TikToks, in my YouTube videos, in my reels, in wherever you find me speaking out about MLMs, you will hear me saying it's not your business, because it's not that it's not your job. It is your job. That's your job. It's one of your jobs.
Hate to break it to you, but we pay taxes on our income. So it is a job. It is a small business, because guess what? This entire office is my Scentsy office. Crazy.
Hey, guess what? This entire office is the office that I work in. Sometimes my husband works in. And guess what? I own my own business, okay? I also am contracted with YouTube. My husband works in this office that we pay for, and he is an employee. Having a home office does not mean that you are a business owner. It means you work. It means you do some form of work in this office.
Where I get all like bent out of shape and irritated because people that don't have the knowledge and don't understand, and like they want to just go on. Like, she's obviously a troll, and her whole entire TikTok, she has like 100 people on it.
Ma'am, TikTok isn't my main platform. It may be yours, which you have blocked me on. I don't know what you were trying to accomplish there. You've blocked me on TikTok and apparently reported my stuff.
That did not work.
But again, I follow the guidelines. I mean, of course, there's probably going to come a day where maybe something slips through the cracks and I have to eat my words, but I do my best to follow the guidelines and know my facts. Do you? Just saying, you may have blocked me, but I'm still able to see your TikTok, and it seems that one of your TikToks may have gotten taken down last night. Ring a bell? Go ahead, baby. I play dirty.
You know, karma is a bitch.
I don't so much consider myself an activist, okay? But I will say that I love YouTube. This is the niche of content that I chose for my YouTube channel. I don't necessarily consider myself an activist as much so as, say, Roberta Blevins, who is very much an activist. She is going to Washington and doing all of the things. That's not something that I do, but I do it on a different level. So you bet your ass that I'm going on TikTok, and when I find these leaders and such making TikToks about joining their MLMs, which is against the guidelines on TikTok, I'm going to report them. And I mean, how'd that work out for you? I play dirty. I am petty as fuck. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I'm going to admit I'm wrong. It sucks to admit you're wrong. It's a pride thing to admit you're wrong. But when somebody is coming at me with the wrong information and basically attacking what I do essentially for a living now, I'm not going to sit back and just let it go.
TikTok, she has like 100 people on it, but her whole TikTok is pulling these trainings and videos from all these like network marketing consultants.
It felt a little snarky that she saw that I only had like 100 people on my TikTok. Ma'am, I know that you've seen my YouTube now, and maybe you can tell now that TikTok isn't my focus because I want to make this a living. I enjoy creating content around these topics. So it is something that I want to do for a living. I want to get out of bed in the morning and not dread working. Who doesn't, right? Now, as somebody who would be considered a content creator like myself, I am also a businesswoman. I own my business, remember? And so I sit down and I look at all of my options. And in this case, when I decided I wanted to start creating content for a living, I wanted it to have a purpose, I wanted it to have a meaning, but I also wanted to see the ROI, the return on investment, if you're not aware what that means. And so I sat down and I looked at all of the different platforms. I looked at TikTok. They pay pretty much nothing. So I'm like, well, I don't want to do that because then I'd still have to work another job and only do content creation, which makes me happy on the side when I have time. I looked at Instagram. I hate Instagram.
I love and I hate social media.
Hate it. I can't figure it out. I've had to restart my account 2 times now. Decided that wasn't for me. I looked at Facebook, same as Instagram, because they're owned by the same people. I have been working within YouTube with my clients for 3 years, so I knew that YouTube was likely going to bring me the best ROI. So now that I've explained that to you, that's why my TikTok only has about 100 people. I use all of my other social media accounts to supplement and raise awareness about my YouTube channel, which is where I invest most of my time and energy, and all of my content lives. Like, that's where my content lives. Everything else you see is being pulled from this main content. That is how you effectively run a business, basically, especially when you're a content creator. So don't come for me or anybody else for having a small following on TikTok. Also, like I said in my original video where I reacted to her training, she was very much talking about her followers on TikTok and Instagram. And I made the point that that doesn't matter. The engagement matters. And so I think that's where she's like, she only has 100 followers on TikTok. Like, I don't give a this is where I am. This is where my people are. And if I can find more people on TikTok that also like to be on YouTube and they're going to come and hang out on YouTube with us, then they're my people also. But just to make it clear, that's why my following is so small. Not that I care, but apparently she does.
And just like trying to roast them. They're so disgusting. MLM is so gross. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you? I am sorry that like whatever traumatized you as a kid, but I never thought that I would be here today. I never thought that I'd be in this position. I was on Medicaid and on WIC, and we were broke as shit for a very long time, which is why I started this business, because my truck broke and I needed a new truck. So we bought in a more expensive truck that we could not afford. And I just needed to make $200 a week or a month, $200 a month to pay for my truck payment. And we were still on WIC. And my goal was to get off of Medicaid and get off the system with 2 kids staying at home.
I feel like I maybe didn't make this clear enough in my first video because basically I didn't really want to talk about that too much. I didn't want to talk about the WIC and the Medicaid too much on the video. She made the point, we addressed it really quickly, but it wasn't the purpose of my video. The purpose of my content, again, is to raise awareness around shady behavior. And somebody made a comment on that video about Medicaid and WIC and people using it, and basically saying that people need to use it sometimes. And I realized that maybe I didn't voice how I feel about my views on WIC or Medicaid in that video, and I apologize for that. But I have nothing against people utilizing WIC and Medicaid. That's what they're there for. I don't air much of my past or personal life here on YouTube, but I was on a form of Medicaid when I had my first son. And I did apply for WIC, and I have nothing against that. I know how hard it can be as a family, especially in recent years, how hard it is to make ends meet. I have nothing against that, and that wasn't the purpose of my video. My thumbnail may have said something about WIC. Here's the thing, when you're creating content on YouTube, you want your thumbnail and title to be clickable. You want people to be like, oh, what the f is that about? So yes, I utilized WIC as a tool on my thumbnail, but it wasn't to say, oh my God, she's on WIC. I'll put the thumbnail here so you can see it, but it said, Scentsy saved me from WIC or something. And my main point with that is to say that this individual, as well as so many other people within MLMs who are, whether they're at the top or not, will often take advantage of these vulnerabilities of people who can't afford to buy groceries or are on WIC or are getting state assistance or getting government assistance. They will take advantage of that and turn that into an opportunity to recruit somebody. And I think that is what happened to this individual. And now I really don't have anything against this individual. I don't love the things she was saying about me, but also I was the same way when I was in my MLMs. Whenever somebody said something bad, I was coming for their throat. I was hearing what I wanted to hear, but not the point they were trying to get across. And I see that a lot with what she was saying in these stories. And so I get it, but I just wanted to really make that clear that I have nothing against people utilizing WIC and Medicaid. That's what they're there for. Please, if you need it and you qualify, go and get it. There's no shame in that.
Ain't no shame in the game.
That's what it's there for. It's there to help you get on your feet. And if you are being successful in Scentsy, then great. But don't take advantage of other people. And that's the point. That's the point. In her original training video that I reacted to, she was displaying the taking advantage of people behaviors.
I think it is an awesome thing to hold up your groceries and say, thank you guys for ordering with me last month. I was able to get my groceries this month. Because no, that's not. And then she went in this video that I just posted, this reel, and took little like clips of my trainings. And she was like, wouldn't it be weird if we all just thanked our jobs for buying us toilet paper to wipe our ass? And I'm like, well, no, I wouldn't. If I worked in corporate, and I went and got groceries, no, I wouldn't thank my CEO for paying me because I worked those hours.
Again, I repurpose all of my long form videos to raise more awareness about my channel. So she's referring to a TikTok short reel that I repurposed this past weekend that clipped something from my original reaction video that she didn't like. And this is the reel if you missed it.
And thanks, Scentsy, for letting me get my groceries today. Just take a picture of you holding your groceries out in front of like Whole Foods, right in front of Whole Foods, like that. Put it in your VIP page and say, hey guys, I was able to put food on the table for my family today. Thank you again.
Imagine how weird it'd be if everybody just posted like, thank you, job, for the toilet paper. I'm able to wipe my ass now. Why is this normal for MLMs? If anybody else were to do it, it would be like, what the f? And so more on that, if you didn't see the original video, she was encouraging people to take pictures of their groceries and post them on their social medias thanking Scentsy. And so my point was to say, like, would you do that with a real job? Like, thanks for the toilet paper, now I can wipe my ass. No, you wouldn't, because that's weird, which is exactly what she just said. So she sees it, but she doesn't see it. Like, you wouldn't do it if you're working your regular job where there's an actual CEO that oversees the whole company and you're getting a paycheck. So why would you do it for this job, like you just called it, that you're getting paid for? And she's going to go on to say that, no, I wouldn't do that because I went to work and I put in the hours and got paid for the hours. You're doing the same fucking thing with Scentsy. The only difference is you're a contractor, you had to pay to join, and you get paid to recruit. Those are the only differences. So you're still making sales and recruiting and getting paid. So why? I don't know. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that she doesn't see it. She just said it.
I clocked into the job under that CEO and I clocked out and he paid me those hours, but I work for my business.
Which is still under a CEO and it's not your business. You are a contractor. You work for Scentsy and they send you money on your little pay card every month. It's the same concept. So how is it any different? Because people are purchasing. You don't see hairdressers or nail techs or anybody else who's out there relying on individual people coming in and paying for their services or products, thanking them for being able to purchase groceries, okay? Maybe that will get across a little better.
I connect with my customers. I spoil my customers. I thank my customers. We help fill our customers' home with products. So yes, I'm going to thank them for buying from a small business like me because it supports me directly.
Also, I follow a good amount of Etsy creators and things like that. Never seen them do anything like this. So how is this any different? It's just not. Those Etsy creators, the good ones at least, that have a good reputation, they are also spoiling their customers and thanking them and talking to them. What are we missing here?
The thing too, and then she goes on about, again, wouldn't it be weird if we thanked our bosses for buying our toilet paper to wipe our ass? And I'm sitting here like, you do realize that a lot of, I will say women, but men obviously too, but majority women, a lot of them, if they're moms, are stay-at-home moms. A lot of them, not all of them, clearly not all of them, but there are a lot of stay-at-home moms.
I am a business owner, a YouTuber, and also a stay-at-home mom. But what does that have to do with anything?
We have no idea.
A lot of people on Medicaid like me that were stay-at-home moms to multiple kids or a kid who could not afford because their job didn't pay them. If I went back to my job, yeah, I worked in the medical field. But if I went back and I put 2 of my babies under 2 in childcare, an 18-month-old and a 6-month-old in childcare, it would have cost me $2,000 plus a month. I didn't even make that in my paychecks when I worked as a medical assistant. I didn't even make that. I made like $600 every 2 weeks. So I wouldn't have even had enough to cover childcare. So like, just a reminder, not everybody has a job and they need something that's flexible like this. So kick rocks.
Okay, I'll kick rocks, but also I'm in the same boat, my friend. I have 2 kids who are homeschooled, okay? Of course, that's our choice, but I quit my job because we couldn't afford daycare, and I never said anything about this in the video. This is a perfect example of them hearing what they want to hear and not hearing what's actually going on. That's not the purpose of anything. I'm not here to criticize somebody for being a stay-at-home mom because they can't afford daycare. I still can't afford daycare. And I mean, our income, knock on wood, is decent. It is not something that is affordable. That's a problem, okay? Good, affordable childcare is nearly impossible to come by in the United States of America, at least. And I never criticized her for that. Good for her. But an MLM is not the way to go because in the long run, you have no control over anything that's happening within that business. I think she'd probably do great at a virtual business, just like the other individual that I reacted to in Scentsy that I said the same thing. They're immediately so defensive about like, I have to do this because I can't get a job. Try something else. Explore other options where you have full control and also don't have to recruit people. That's the problem. The recruitment is the problem with these MLMs. I'm just frustrated because, like I said, she has a larger following than me, of course. She has a different niche also. But I don't want people to think that I'm this nasty individual who is criticizing people for taking advantage of government assistance that's there for people who need it, as well as being a stay-at-home mom because you can't afford daycare. I've been in those positions. I am in one of those positions, and I get it, and I'm not going to criticize somebody for doing what's best for their family, but I am going to criticize MLMs and the behavior within MLMs because that's not good for anybody's family. At least not in the long term. It's not sustainable. And when that day comes in that MLM, because it will, we've seen it with all of the MLMs that had to restructure or close. What are you going to do then?
I'm like, I am getting mad about it. I'm getting mad, and I'm talking to my friends. I'm getting mad about it. So I just deleted my videos, my reels and stuff, and I blocked her because I'm like, people like that are making me this upset that I don't even know are not worth my time.
Yet we still have roughly 9 minutes of this to go through. 9 more minutes you spent criticizing me, my content, and the things that I didn't say.
You were so worried of how you're gonna look. My God, well, I don't want to look stupid. Well, now look how stupid you look.
But I did report her on YouTube, and I want everyone to report that video if you can, because she has no right using my video. She has no usage rights using my video, first of all. Secondly, I show my family in my YouTube as well. So the fact that like you can potentially be sending people over to my YouTube channel to bully me and my family is very unsafe. And I'm shaming YouTube for even allowing that. That's absolutely outrageous. But like, she goes,
I don't stand for that. And like I said in the beginning of this video, and I made it a point to bring attention to the fact that I was saying it, that I don't make these videos and I don't keep the faces unblurred for people to seek individuals out and send them hate and bully them, bully their family. None of that. That's not okay. Please don't do that. If you're somebody watching my videos and you do that, please leave. You go! That is not okay. That's not the purpose of this video. That's not the purpose of any of my videos. Her family and her personal life have nothing to do with what she's doing in the MLM, with the behaviors that she's displaying and I'm reacting to. That has nothing to do with it. She could be a great person outside of her MLM trainings and this rant that she went on. I don't know her. I don't want anybody to go and do that to anybody. I have 2 more points that I want to make on what she just said. The second one is to piggyback off of what I just said. I don't put your family on YouTube. Also, YouTube is a public platform, and the last thing you have to worry about is me. I'll just say that. I make it a personal choice to hardly ever show my kids on social media for a reason. There are predators. And lots of them. And they're gross and they don't care about anything. They're on YouTube, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram. They're on TikTok. And if you think my content is sending those people over there, you are strongly mistaken. And the third and final point that I wanted to make about this comment that she made is that I am well within my right to use her content. And this is where maybe I know my facts and she doesn't. Fair use. Section 107 of the Copyright Act. It is in every one of my videos in the beginning as a disclaimer. You can also find it linked below. It is there in support, like I said in the beginning of this video, of transformative and educational content, which is what I make on my channel. I don't just take your content and put it up on my channel. A perfect example of this, in my opinion, would be Sissa Sniper Wolf. You may have heard of all of the controversy going around about her right now, but she doesn't transform her content at all. She just sits there, reacts to content with, wow, That's crazy. Oh my God. Like nothing added to it. In this niche, in drama commentary and anti-MLM commentary, we are fully transforming it and making it educational. We are pointing out the things that are unethical, that are against compliance, that shouldn't be said, that are harmful to other individuals. We are not just taking your trainings and putting them back on our channel. Your training was public on your YouTube channel, so fair use. Those are all the points at this point. Let's keep going. This video is getting very lengthy. I wasn't expecting this. I'm so sorry.
It goes on and on about, like, she goes side by side with my training that I did with my team and other people that enjoy these trainings, okay? So it's not me talking about me, it's me talking about how I have been recruiting and like what's been working for me, because that is the business too.
You're admitting again that it's a pyramid scheme, and that's the problem. The recruiting is the problem. It shouldn't be a part of the business. This is not a doctor's office where people are out recruiting doctors to work for them. It is not a recruitment where you maybe get a small bonus when you find another individual who's hired on to work somewhere. That's not what this type of recruiting is. This is recruiting people to pay so that your paycheck can grow.
I thought it was like a little TikTok. No, she has a full-blown YouTube channel.
Surprise!
And she pretty much takes people's trainings off YouTube's and all Beachbody On Demand and Young Living and Scentsy and any company, and she just will sit there and roast you.
Roast you, per se? That's probably not how I would word it. Like, if I was sitting here roasting somebody, this is not towards her. I'm just giving an example. I'd be like, oh my God, look at her hair. Why does she sound like that? Why did she say that? Why is she wearing that? That's not what I'm doing. I'm roasting the behaviors that's encouraged within MLMs and within scams and the behaviors of people who are just a disgrace to society, okay? And specifically who comes to mind when I say that is Russell Brunson.
So she took my entire training that I did and roasted me, and then like every 10 seconds she was pausing and like joking something about me, like, oh my God, her voice. And then she's like,
not just once, I watched it twice last night to make sure. Never once did I mention her voice or make a dig at her. It was the behavior that she was displaying. So again, stop making your followers believe that I am this nasty person. This is the nature of the beast. And if you're going to put content out on the internet in any form,
I gotta toughen up. Yeah! Oh!
I fully expect people to come at me for my content. Right? This is public content, and I don't really care that much if they do. But when you're out here saying that I'm doing something that I'm not, then I have a problem with it. Like, I never said anything about her voice. Not once. Never. I don't know where she got that from. I don't think she was watching my video.
oh, I like how she whispered her part-time job. Oh, but you make so much with Scentsy. I showed y'all how much I make with Scentsy.
The reason that I pointed out that I didn't even say that she whispered that she had a part-time job, is that she glazed over it. And she left multiple comments on this video that I have screenshots of that we'll look at in a minute as well. So the point I made in my video was that she went to the dentist office, and when she was telling the dentist that she works Scentsy full-time, it sounded like she definitely left out the part that she actually works part-time in the medical field, and that is guaranteed pay every week, right? So I made it a point to point that out, like, hey, if you're not bringing that up to people, it's just unethical. It's not okay. People need to know, like, no, I don't pay all my bills with just Scentsy money. I also have a job that is guaranteed money. That's the reason I pointed that out. And you'll see here, I'll put the comment on the screen now. I asked her basically if she told the dentist that she also had a part-time job. She didn't answer the question. Like, I want to know, are you telling people that you work Scentsy full-time and that's how you pay your bills? Or are you saying you work Scentsy full-time, which according to her is 30 minutes a day, and then you also have a part-time job that helps you pay the bills? If you're not disclosing that information, it's very deceptive. That's the problem, not your voice. I don't know where that came from.
I showed y'all how much I made the first year with Scentsy, $50 a month. Okay, I am very vulnerable when it comes to my journey, but I'm also like, I have talked about having another job. Yes, I have a part-time job. Scentsy is my full-time. I have a part-time. It used to be the other way around until it's not, because that paycheck that you guys saw the other day, and if she would have saw it, she would have known, is my full-time paycheck. But regardless, it just drives me up the wall that YouTube allows that.
It's not YouTube allowing it, it's the law.
Sad. It's just sad. And I'm like listening to half of it, and I'm getting mad more at the fact of like her facts aren't even right.
I would like to know where my facts aren't right, because then I could fix them. If you're just going on your story and saying this girl's facts aren't right and not letting me know where I went wrong, then that's not helpful.
Like, she's like, oh, you're not a small business. I'm like, I pay taxes.
That literally doesn't mean you're a small business. My husband pays taxes and he works almost 60 hours a week. He doesn't own his business. Just because you pay taxes doesn't mean you're a small business owner. What the fuck?
I am a small business, but okay. And then if you scroll down all the way to the bottom of her page, she actually used to be a Scentsy consultant, which is probably why she has so much hate for Scentsy consultants. So
she really took a lot of time out of her morning to look at my YouTube channel. Yes, of course, I shared my experience with Scentsy. If you want to call it failure, sure, whatever. I did rank up quite a few times, but you know, I decided to leave. I could have stayed, but I wasn't seeing the ROI, return on investment, that should have been there for the time that I was putting into it. So I left. I chose to leave. I've addressed this before, and if she followed me, she would know this. Who am I kidding? Nobody in her position is going to be watching my videos to have heard me say this, but I've said it in the past that I enjoy covering Scentsy. I like to expose Scentsy for what it is, because as I was consuming the anti-MLM and MLM awareness content that I was consuming before I started a YouTube channel, there wasn't a lot on Scentsy. So I enjoy covering it. I enjoy it also because I know a little bit more of the behind the scenes than somebody who wasn't in Scentsy, especially because I was in for quite a while. So I like to cover that stuff because I feel like I have information to offer, not because I failed. Honey, I'm okay.
So she failed at Scentsy, which again, not everyone is successful. It depends on how much effort you put in. It depends on how you work your business, and how you want to network. And I can go on and on about this all the time because last year was a hard year for me, like getting customers and stuff. And so I did new things and I tried hard things and I took social media more seriously. Like anyway, it doesn't matter. But I'm just like, it makes so much sense now. So she was in a network marketing business and she must have failed pretty hard and must have had a traumatizing experience somewhere along the lines. I don't know how or why or when, but now she's attacking everyone in network marketing because she failed.
If you want to call me seeing MLMs for what they really are and deciding to get out, failure, sure. Trauma, sure, I guess, whatever. That's your prerogative, but I don't think I would necessarily call it trauma. Like, yeah, there were some experiences that happened mainly after I left that really didn't feel great, but that was because I left, and that's when you start to see what MLMs really are. I didn't fail, and I didn't get traumatized while I was in MLMs, but go off.
I'm done. She's not going to ruin my morning.
You sure about that? Was it just your afternoon? Because she came back.
I don't even know her. She's a freaking crazy psycho lady. I don't even know her.
Crazy psycho lady. But I didn't say anything like that about her in my video. I get it. I'm coming for your business, if that's how you want to see it, because I'm exposing the truths that nobody talks about. But crazy psycho lady, well, you know, I guess technically you can call me crazy psycho lady, but I'm a medicated crazy psycho lady.
We gotta know what we're dealing with.
It's controlled craze.
Why am I gonna let her get to me? I'm not. We're not gonna let her get to me.
If she went there, I'm going there now. It's giving toddler temper tantrum, okay?
Yeah, I said it.
Why are we acting like a toddler?
It was supposed to like angrily hit and then unlock. I just deleted the videos and I blocked her and I reported her YouTube because she has no right using my video. She didn't ask me to use my video. She has no usage rights to use my freaking training.
Yeah, I do fair use. Google it. Unless you're somebody who's been chilling with me or likes to watch this content, then you can just click the link in the description.
And all that stuff. And I blocked her on TikTok and reported her as well. So, yeah. I want to share her info here, but I also don't want anyone to go on it and comment and like give her more attention than she deserves. So I'm going to see if my report does enough.
Didn't do anything, at least not yet.
You thought you had one right there, huh? You thought you had a banger. And I'm just like,
But my report was pretty immediate. Think I'm okay. I did want to bring this specific slide up because she said she like deleted all the posts and everything. What she's referring to is she shared my Instagram reel on her stories to like show what she was talking about. And then she took it down. And then she shared this screenshot-ish of her commenting, leaving a long comment on my video after I asked her a question. But she had deleted this because she didn't want people to be able to find me. No worries. I grabbed it, and she deleted a few of these stories where she was ranting too, but I had them all already. On the slide, she says, hold to read, she's not factual and just assuming. I mentioned so many times my part-time job. There's also nothing wrong with working while you build your success. Could I quit and live off Scentsy? Yes, but why? I like the extra income. We got house projects, traveling, credit cards. Like, I don't want to quit right now. Okay, whatever. I'd also question, is that the reason you don't want to quit, or is it because you don't want to let your actual job go with something that isn't really your business? Could be a sign. But now that we have this, also just want to thank her, shout out, because you boosted this video yesterday. It got quite a significant amount of views compared to the days prior. So apparently this post was up long enough for people to see it and come and find me. And I just got 1 thumbs down in that time frame. So I don't know what you were trying to accomplish, but you did me a favor.
I saw that going differently in my mind.
Okay, but since we brought that slide up, before we get into her afternoon rant about me, let's read through these comments because she mentions these in the next rant we're gonna go through. So a little clarification, if you watched my stories yesterday, she accused me, which we'll see in this next rant, of deleting her comments off of my video. I also looked quickly at my video when I saw that she said that and thought they were deleted. So I was upset on my stories talking about how she was accusing me of deleting comments, which I'm still upset about, but I didn't delete the comments. She didn't delete the comments. They are still there on my video, but the reason we couldn't find them is because she had commented underneath somebody else's comment. Like, it wasn't organized for me to find it. I was just looking at the newest comments and I thought that, oh, she deleted it. Anyway, I ended up finding them, and this is what she says. She commented under a comment that said, I like how she quietly admitted to having a part-time job, and I basically agreed. I said, right, I really enjoy how she very quickly brushed over that information. And then she commented, this is how this all started. She commented and said, yeah, if you actually followed me, I talk about my part-time job all the time. I don't know why she yelled that last part, but that's not what we were talking about. We were talking about this specific event that happened where she went into her dentist's office and talked to them about how she works Scentsy full-time, and that's her full-time income. And it sounded like, again, she did not mention that she has a job. She also works a job. So I said to her, do you share that with everyone you try to recruit, or do you continue to tell people you make your money by working your Scentsy business full-time, which according to you is 30 minutes a day? Just to refresh your memory, in this story of you going to recruit at your dentist, it sure did sound like you left the part out that you have an actual job. Did she answer my question? Let's find out. I share with everyone what I do. I am fully transparent. And if you actually knew me as a person and how kind and hardworking and vulnerable I am, you would never make this video of me and allow people to sit here and joke me. That's, again, not the purpose of my content. It's the behaviors that MLMs encourage, allow, and I guess teach people. I worked so freaking hard for this business, and it is a business. It is a business, but it's not your business. It's a job. You're a 1099 contractor. I had no intention of ever growing a team. I joined to make a car payment, and that's it. And it slowly turned into something more. I do social media full time and have over 50,000 people on there and post every day about my part-time job at home in the medical field. How I used to be full time in clinic seeing patients, how my job needed me back and I wanted to pay off debt faster and travel more, so I work from home with my baby part-time because I can work Scentsy whenever I want. I love working with patients. That doesn't mean I'm not successful with Scentsy, but Scentsy is my full time because it's my full income. I probably mumbled in this video because everyone watching my training and our team page already know my story because I am massively open and honest about it, and everyone that joined with me got the entire breakdown of the pros and cons, quote unquote. Highly doubtful. At the end of the day, it isn't up to me for them to want to work. I don't push people, so I make more. I focus on my personal job and just train about what's working for me. These videos you do are hurtful. We are real people with real families. I'm sorry you weren't successful, but this is so wrong on many levels. She didn't answer my question. This content, my content in particular, is not made to make digs at other people. It's to criticize what's happening online, the behaviors, again, that MLMs are encouraging. And if you can't take that, then you probably should stop posting content online. As somebody who gets quite a bit of criticism that I don't delete, by the way, off of my page, unless it's harmful to, I don't know, like the LGBTQ community or people of color or anything like that. Like if you're coming for a specific ethnicity or something like that, you're gonna get deleted off of my page. But if you're calling me fat and ugly, which people have done and people continue to do, I leave it up. I don't care. If you can't have a tough skin on the internet posting your trainings and your opinions about your MLMs, you got to get off the internet.
But most of all, if you let someone fuck with you, you're a punk fuck bitch.
That's the hard truth. You have to have such a tough skin to be on the internet that this doesn't faze you. Yet you went on a comment spree and a Instagram story spree for how long? How long were you looking at my YouTube page? How long were you complaining to your friends about it? You're just giving me more content. But again, she didn't answer the question about if she told the people at her dentist office that were in shock that she was making a full-time income with Scentsy that she also has a job to fall back on for the months that she makes nothing, that she doesn't make rank, that whatever, what have you, she has a job to fall back on. That fact is important. She also said, also what's crazy is that my dentist, I used to go to school with him and his wife. She loves Scentsy, so I sent her husband home with stuff. The checkout girl actually had done multiple parties and I went to pay with my Scentsy card and she saw it and asked about it. And the next time I went in, I brought stuff for everyone. And she ended up having an amazing party with her coworkers and friends. No scam here, just purely sharing what I love to do. And she follows me on social media, so I'll be sure to screenshot this too because I'm truthful. That's the wrong version of two O's next time. There's no agenda to my business. It changed my freaking life and I'm thankful for that every day, period. What you are doing is just mean. So, I told her she didn't answer my question. I'll put the full comment here. I'm not going to read through them all because I'm sure you don't want to listen to me read my comments. She called me a troll, so of course I had to end it with, have a lovely day. I'm going back to being a troll now. I just basically told her like, hey, you didn't answer my question and the purpose of my content is not to be mean. It's shit posting. I talk shit. That is what it is. I've been that way forever and I maybe come across as a little blunt when I'm doing it on my channel, but it's not meant to be mean. It's meant to call the bullshit out. Like I'm calling out the bullshit. So then of course she said that she did answer my question and that she mentions that she has a job every day on social media, but the people at her dentist office maybe aren't on her social media. All of the people that she just told about Scentsy, about joining Scentsy and how it's her full-time income, they may not follow her on social media. So how are they going to know unless you directly tell them, hey, I also work another job, just so you know. Now on to her afternoon rant about me from yesterday.
There's more. I thought you were done.
But I was in my feelings this morning about, what's her stupid face, whatever her name is.
What's her stupid face? My name is Sam, 3 letters, it's hard to forget. Sam, I am Sam. Fun fact, I say that in the beginning of every one of my videos. After I do a countdown from 10 to 1 to sync my audio to my camera.
And about joking me and like everyone that like watched the video was like joking me and stuff. And I gave in and I wrote back stupidly, but I think that she was probably threatened by how nice I was and the fact that I actually am transparent. Because she was like, oh, you walked in your dentist's office and like showed all your Scentsy stuff. How, like, do they know that you have an actual other job, a real job? And I was like, yeah, they do. And the only reason they knew about Scentsy is because that when I went to go check out with Mindy, who probably is watching this, she saw me use my Scentsy card.
That, what?
I don't know what the that was.
Like, girl, eat your apple. I think your sugar's low.
The one that was like, oh, you sell Scentsy? And I was like, yeah, because I was swiping my Scentsy card to pay for my tooth bill. And I was
swiping my Scentsy card.
I was like, yeah, and she knows that I work part-time in the medical field. And all the people that have joined with me, because I also set hours with them too, and I let them know, hey, if I don't get back to you right away, I still run a business. I still do social media. I'm still a mom and I have a part-time job. So I'm very open. But anyways.
See, you could have said that in the comment when I asked you the fucking question.
So I explained, because I'm an explainer, which is annoying to me. I explained that to this girl, and I don't think she wanted her subscribers to see that. I don't think she liked my comebacks that were proving her wrong and stupid and how dumb she sounded. And
see, these are things that I tried to stay away from saying about people on my channel. I'm sure I've said it in the past. It may have slipped, but I know that those things are not helpful. Stupid and dumb. That's me. I'm just a stupid, dumb bitch.
she deleted all of my comments. So I was like,
no, I didn't. I found them. I screenshotted them just in case you do decide to delete them. I don't know why I would delete them. What is the purpose? What is the purpose? Because I don't want my followers or subscribers to see you commented and you thought you were nice. I mean, you weren't super mean, but it was a pointless comment. It didn't answer my fucking question. I asked you one simple question. I got a fucking novel back.
and Sarah had a good point. She was like, why did you respond to her? And I'm like, I know, I gave in.
Sarah was right, because here we are, a whole new video.
Gave her what she wanted. People like that. Well, look at my collarbones. I've never had these either. I was like, I shouldn't have done that. You know, and she said the same thing, and it was stupid. So I did delete my reels and stuff. I deleted a few of my stories because I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to add fuel to her fire. But Sarah's
The fuel was added, and I am a quick little bitch.
right. She probably is making another mocking video on one of my trainings. So you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. You can't control what people feel about you. But you know what?
I for certain wasn't mocking her in the original video I made. I don't mock people when I'm doing my reaction content. I point out, again, the behaviors, the things that MLMs do that people should be aware of. I don't mock. That's not what my channel is.
She didn't pay for this house. She doesn't pay for my mortgage every month, so I don't really care. But anyways,
No, that was your team.
I'll also say I'm thankful for friends that also know me, because I was in my feelings this morning. I was texting Ray and Sarah about it. I was like, just what kind of person does stuff like this? Who just makes it their mission to like trash people? Like, that's just so sad. I've had like maybe 3 or 4 trolls on like my social media, like my weight loss stuff, but like never for Scentsy. And it's just like it just bothered me. And so I stopped watching the video. I didn't even finish it. I watched half of it and was like, I can't watch this anymore. But then
Again, my content isn't meant to be mean, quote unquote. Do I talk shit? Yes. It's more or less, like I said, just surrounding the behaviors that MLMs allow, that MLMs teach, all of those things that I've already said a million times in this video. Like, my content, it's not considered mean. It is considered fair use. You can certainly see it as mean if you are somebody who is still in an MLM, who is still displaying these behaviors. And I get it. Like I said, I was there. Like, I would come across anti-MLM content when I was still in the MLM world. I would have the same reaction. This was me when I was in MLMs. I saw it as mean. I saw it as people attacking me. I get it. But I wanted to also just address it because, like I said, she has a much larger following than I do. And I don't want people to think that I'm some kind of unmedicated crazy psycho bitch, I guess. Like I said, my psycho and crazy is medicated, so we're good. Thanks for hanging out with me while I talk a bunch of shit and vent today. I will see you in the next one.
Pity how you work hard for me. But forgetting how to talk. No, I don't like no humble.